What's going on, my people? It's your boy FPLK man, and I'm back here with a brand new video. This is a special one. I know you guys have been waiting for a while to see my game week 1 draft, aka first draft. A lot of people have uploaded their first draft, second draft, third draft, and I've yet to upload mine. But I really wanted to think deep and see what type of team I want to build. I just didn't want to upload a team just for the sake of it and have major changes come game week 1. I could still have some major changes considering that we maybe get more information, but still, this is the team that I've cooked up after a lot of deep thinking and doing a lot of research. So without further ado, let's dive in. To start with, your boy at the back, we're starting with the biggest troll last season, Sanchez. I know you guys are thinking, this is not a good start. How have I done all this research to come up with picking this troll Sanchez? But look, when you're looking at his fixtures from game week 1 to 12, it is exceptional, and you can almost perma-play him throughout every single week. Chelsea have a phenomenal run, and if you want to get a Chelsea defender, he does seem to be the best one when it comes to price, because Cucurella is 6 million. I think that's not worth it spending. Colwell is there, but at the same time, I'm not sure if he's that nailed to start every single game, considering the fact that they're going to have Champions League. And Sanchez does for the best value for money at the moment. But his competition is Sales, and I do think it's better. However, from that team, I do want more players, i.e. Nico Williams, i.e. Murillo. As you guys can see, they are in my team at the moment. Nico Williams, Murillo, they provide exceptional value for money. Not only that, they're DEFCON monsters. Murillo is ranked amongst top 2 best DEFCON defenders. DEFCON aka defensive contribution points. As you guys know, I actually underestimated how important and how much of a big change this is in my first video. But guys, this one is a game changer. The defenders that are DEFCON monsters, they outscore the likes of Munoz, the likes of Nori, the likes of Cucurella. Last year, they had a phenomenal season. But Tarkowski, freaking Murillo, they've demolished them when it comes to overall points. If they were to be a DEFCON last year added. Like, that's insane. They even outscored Elanga, who also had a phenomenal season. So these DEFCON defenders, Tarkowski, Murillo, are essential, almost essential. I think Tarkowski has a bit of a hamstring injury. He's coming back from hamstring injury, but I think he should be ready to start game week 1. But if he isn't, you also have Lacroix, who also, by the way, somehow managed to score the same amount of points as Munoz. Like, that's crazy. Centre backs are overpowered with this DEFCON attributes, and I do think that if you have to pay extra 0.5 million to get these defenders in, you get them in. At the moment, I'm currently lining up with Murillo, Tarkowski, DEFCON monsters, as well as Nico Williams. Amongst fullbacks, he's the best ranked DEFCON defender. He had 32 DEFCON points last year, and Tarkowski had 44. Murillo had 38, I believe. These points are ridiculous, guys. Just to give you an example, Tarkowski had 7 goals, basically, if you were to include 44 points added to whatever he got in total for clean sheets and bonus other points as well. So that's ridiculous, guys. Getting extra 7 goals from Tarkowski or getting extra 6 goals from Murillo, it's insane. I honestly, obviously there are other good shadows also. Virgil van Dijk, who also could be good, but I feel like 6 minutes is quite a bit. Also, Milinkovic is quite good as well, but they're not the same level when it comes to Tarkowski, Murillo, or Nico Williams. I do think they're the best 3 defenders to start with. And then I've got Richard. Funny enough, Richard is also actually a bit of a DEFCON monster. He started, I think, around 16 games, and he hit the DEFCON 8 times, almost like 50%. Like, he's also good. Like, I think, if you want to save a bit of money, maybe go Richard. But if you can afford a Lacroix, definitely go for Lacroix, because he does have more risky points and he does seem to hit the DEFCON much more often. So, guys, when you're picking defenders, I know it's boring. I know you may not like it, but unfortunately, the game has changed for better or worse, and DEFCON defenders are almost essential now. And that's why your boy has got like 4 of them in my team. And then I got Esteve, which enables me to be able to afford the premiums like Palmer, Salah, and have 3-4-3 structure if I wanted to, or 4-4-2 structure if I wanted to, or if I wanted to play 4-5-1 or something like that. I can play any sort of structure, and Esteve allows that. He won't be coming in my team too often. At the end of the day, he's a 4 million defender. I only need him for a rainy day. He's also good for my bench boost 2 strategy, as he does have Sunderland at home in game week 2, and I do think that's a good fixture. And to be honest, he also is a bit of a DEFCON monster too, if you're looking at his data from the championship. So these defenders, guys, that I've picked, almost all of them are kind of a DEFCON beast, to be honest. And Forest boys are absolutely ridiculous. You have to keep in mind, guys, like the teams that don't defend a lot and that on the back end a lot and they don't have a lot of possession, those are the teams tend to hit the DEFCON numbers much more than, say, for someone like City or Arsenal. Like someone like Gabriel, someone like Saliba, they won't be hitting DEFCON that much often because they have a lot of the possession. Whereas Everton and Forest, they're going to hit much more, guys. So I think that's enough of DEFCON, but I do think I have to stress it a lot because it is a significant change to FPL, which I did not think initially. But after doing much research and looking at the numbers, which as you guys know, I'm an ITIS manager. But unfortunately, this year, I did have to do my research and look at the numbers really deep and think how much of a change this is. If you were to play this asset consistently or throughout the weeks, like every week almost, if you perma-play them, Murillo or Tarkowski, you're cooking throughout the season. Honestly, you're cooking. And then you got in midfield, I've got Palmer, NDI, Salah, Rodgers, and Belieber. Palmer and Salah are the premiums that I've chosen ahead of Haaland and Saka and other premiums. The reason being because I think Palmer has a phenomenal fixture run. And with the performance that he showed at Club World Cup, if he can replicate that in the Premier League, he's going to be a beast. He could have another start like he did last year in the start of the season where he got like 10 G in the first 5 game weeks, similar to Haaland. So he could be a bit of a beast as well if he's playing the right wing. As we saw, he did play in his natural position in the Club World Cup in the final versus PSG. So I do expect big things from him. And then you got Salah. It's Mo Salah, bro. What more can I say? He's a really good captaincy option in game week 1 as well as game week 4. And then I can switch the captaincy between Palmer in game week 3 and 5 if I needed to. And then you got NDA. He's got Leeds away. He got Everton as a really good fixture to start the season with. And he's also on pens and a talismanic asset. Not only that, he's also a bit of a DEFCON monster himself. Imagine getting a 6.5 million mid who's got attacking threat, who's on pens, and also a DEFCON monster. It is crazy, guys. I know I'm talking about DEFCON a lot, but as I said, this is a big change to the game, and I do think that a lot of people are sleeping on this DEFCON attribute, on how much this can impact in your team and how much points you can make on consistency basis. And then you got lastly Belieber, Fulham at home. I'm starting him because on the bench I have Sean Larson, and most weeks I'll probably be playing 3-4-3, but some weeks when there is like say a tough fixture for Sean Larson or NDA, I'm gonna switch them around and I might go 3-4-3 or I might go 3-5-2, something along those lines, or 4-4-2. Like depending on the fixtures, like with Sean Larson, Belieber, and NDI, there's gonna be a nice rotation. I looked at it up into game week 8 even, it's really good rotation. And then you've got Rodgers. Rodgers is just him, to be honest with you. Like he's almost like not the talisman yet, but he's close to one. Like obviously Watkins is a talisman because he's going to be on pens most likely, but Rodgers gets 90 minutes monster, and we saw what he done last year. Like he was an incredible asset and enabler for all of our teams, and I think at 7 million he's still great value for money when you compare to him other assets like Elanga. Their minutes are not secured, or even Sarr. Like Rodgers is just him, to be honest with you. And the fixture run for Villa is also crazy to start the season. So that's your midfield. And then you got up front, I've got Watkins, Wood, and Sean Larson. Now, the striker that I've got currently in Watkins is a placeholder for Gyökeres because I don't think I can get to Saka come game week 7 when the fixtures turn. So I could easily go from Watkins to Gyökeres because it's a 9 million. Gyökeres also 9 million. I am kind of contemplating whether to start with Gyökeres because I do want a captaincy in game week 2 because I currently don't have the best captain, to be honest, on paper in game week 2. So if I was to have Gyökeres, potentially that would be a good shout. But at the same time, there are so much doubts about his minutes, whether he will start versus United or not. And he also played 10 minutes in the first preseason game, and he didn't look too promising, to be honest. So currently, I do have Watkins and Wood and Sean Larson. And as I said, Sean Larson worked really well with Belieber as well as NDI. And then I've got Wood. Wood is, come on, Mr. Wood. He's the GOAT himself. Forest have an incredible fixture run to start the season. For the first 6, they play 3 promoted teams, Burnley as well as Sunderland. And they also have Brentford. Like, come on, like Brentford are going to be in shambles this year. They lost so many players, they lost their manager. So I do think Forest is the team to target because they play a lot of promoted teams and the fixture run is incredible. On the bench, as I said, I got currently Kingsley, who's got Burnley at home. I'm hoping maybe he will start, but I doubt it. But listen, if I was to bench boost game week 2, I'm probably going to bench boost without a goalkeeper. I don't think there's much significance in getting a goalkeeper. So hypothetically speaking, if I was to get a Sarr, like I'll play him versus Bournemouth, how likely is it to keep a clean sheet versus Bournemouth? Just for 2 points, I don't want my 0.5 million to be sitting on a keeper who I won't be using too often anyways. So yeah, I just think keeper is not worth it. I'm probably going to bench boost with 3 players. And currently, I do have Sean Larson, Richards, and Esteve on the bench. And Richard, as I said, is a bit of a DEFCON monster. And he does have a good rotation with the Forest boys as well as the Everton boys. So this is it. This is how I'm lining up. Let me know what you guys think. If you're looking at my team, normally this is not how my team would look because I'm an eye test manager and I do like to pick players that I see, that are performing and that does pass my eye test. Whereas this season, I feel like because of the rule changes, I'm forced to use the data more so. So yeah, this team might not look like a Cayman's team, but it is what it is. We got to adapt. The game has changed. We also got to change. And I do have to use the analytics a bit more if I was to get a good rank this season. And I do recommend you guys to check out the analytics from Tom Hardy, for example, which I'll show in the graphic. It shows the highest scorers for DEFCON defenders from last season, as well as which defenders to get. So you guys can see Tarkovsky has hit the DEFCON 64% of the times. And you also have Murillo, who also hit 52.8% of the times. And you got a Crocs, who hit 48.6% of the time. And if you're looking for a fullback and you like a fullback, you got Nico Williams with 32.1% of the times, the DEFCON contributions. And then lastly, amongst the premium defenders, you got Virgil van Dijk, who actually hit also 30% of the times. But 6 million, is he worth it? Is he better than Crocs? Is he better than your Tarkovsky? Is he better than Murillo's? I beg to differ. All they plays for a better defense, and he does have a good DEFCON hit. I do think he's a defender that doesn't like to make a lot of tackles. Yes, he's got high clearance rate. However, he doesn't make a lot of tackles. He's a bit more passive. He's a bit more like, he lets you make the decision more so than him getting involved like someone like Romero would or Murillo would and get dirty and get those tackles. But for clearance, he's definitely good. And amongst premium defenders, I definitely do recommend him. But in my team, as you guys saw currently, I'm prioritizing the Tarkovsky and Murillo of the world, as I do think they're better value for money as well as from consistency standpoint to be able to hit that DEFCON number. So yeah, I think I've talked about enough of DEFCON, but again, I'm keep on stressing it because it is a big change and it is hard to get your head around it. But if you look at these graphics that I'm putting up on the screen, you should definitely look at them and see which players are hitting those DEFCON numbers and how much of the times they're hitting it and what teams. That will definitely help you make better decisions. Guys, that'll be it. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to this video. I hope it was informative. If you do like my team or if you want your team to be rated, make sure to, go on, send me your teams on X. The next video will be to rate your draft. So I'll go to everyone's draft and rate it in the next video. So yeah, make sure to leave a comment and subscribe, and I'm going to see you guys next video. Peace out.